Hi guys, so it is post-op now for me. I just wanted to give a quick update on what's been going on with me. It's September 23rd of 2017. I had my VSG surgery on um, September 14th of 2017, so that would be 9 days ago. And I've been feeling great, actually. I wanted to tell you a little about my experience. It wasn't something that is typical. I got really lucky, but I've been doing great. I feel normal today. I'm back to my normal self, and let me start with weight. So my highest weight was about 217 pounds. When I went to my first nutritional appointment, I was at 214. And when I started the pre-op diet, I was 214. When I had surgery, my surgery day, I was about 304. And today I am at 9 days post-op, 289 pounds. So I'm really excited about that. I've lost about 28 pounds total from my highest weight, and that's amazing. It's been a month that took me to do, maybe less. So uh, it's amazing. So let's see. What else do I want to talk about today? My surgery experience. So I actually was an outpatient. Most people won't be outpatient. Most people will stay 1 or 2 days in the hospital. I'd say maybe 10 to 20% of people are actually outpatient. I like it. I have a friend who was outpatient, and he said that he wished he had gotten to stay in the hospital because he had the dreaded gas pains. I, for whatever reason, did not have any gas pains. Now, let me kind of start from the beginning. So, we got to the hospital. My surgery was scheduled to be at St. David's Hospital in downtown Austin with Dr. Tim Falconberry of Southwest Bariatrics. It was scheduled at 10:30 in the morning. My arrival time was 8:30, so we did arrive by 8:30. The surgeon was a little late, so I'm getting ahead of myself here. Sorry. We got there at 8:30. Signed in at the front desk. They took me back and had me change into the hospital gown. Before I changed in the hospital gown, I had to take all of my clothes off, and I had to wipe basically from neck down with these warmed, like antimicrobial wipes, I guess. And they had me do that all over my body, arms, chest, abdomen, back. They didn't, of course, you wouldn't want to go in the genital area, but kind of in the pubic area, you had to do your butt cheeks, not inside the crack. Okay, so I'm sorry. Then down all the way to your toes. So or to your ankles, really. They told me the feet wouldn't matter because they had those hospital socks on me anyway. Let's see. So I did that, got changed. A couple people came in and talked to me from the hospital. Like there was like I guess the pre-op nurses, and their job was to basically do prep me for the surgery. So I had a really nice guy named David that did my IV. He did perfect. It was in my hand. They in the past they've had really hard time getting IVs in me. I was really relieved for him to get it on the first try, and he did put some like Novocaine or just some he injected a little bit of numbing medicine, whatever it might be. I think it was Novocaine. And then he inserted the IV. First try, smooth. He was a really calm person, really calming voice, so that helped, and he was really nice. They also gave me a dose of Tylenol before the surgery, as well as the Endol. And that the Endol's for the nausea, just to prevent any nausea from the anesthesia. And then through the IV, they gave me just regular fluids like, excuse me, and you will burp a lot after surgery. So they gave me the saline, I think, antibiotic through the IV, and something else. I don't really know what it was. All I know is there was a big bag of saline and then two smaller bags of some kind of medication. I know one was the antibiotic. So anyway, so they did that. We waited a while. About 11 o'clock rolled in, and my surgeon finally showed up. He was stuck at another hospital in Austin, and was stuck in traffic. So it didn't matter to me. It wasn't, a big deal. Luckily, I was pretty calm. I did ask for some anti-anxiety medicine from David, the pre-op nurse. He said the anesthesiologist team would actually administer that to me. Now, here's something weird, and I've had two other surgeries. One that I can really remember, a lot about. And they gave me that anti-anxiety medicine pretty much, a few minutes after they put my IV in. In this case, they, once they were ready to do the surgery, they rolled me out of the prep room, I will call it. I don't know what they officially call them. They moved me out of that prep room, and they wheeled me down to the OR. Now, we're going into the OR, and I don't know, St. David's is a pretty big hospital here in Austin. They probably had 10 or 15 operating rooms, and mine was pretty far away. So we're going down the hall, and I'm on this stretcher, and I'm seeing, as we're going along, operating rooms with the doors open, and I can see bodies being operated on. And for a person that's about to go under an anesthesia and have a pretty major operation on their body, it was really nerve-wracking. When I got in the operating room, they had all the equipment laid on the table. I could see everything they were about to work on me with, and that was super terrifying. I kept calm though. I mean, I'm a pretty laid back person, so I just kind of kept it inside and okay, just do what they tell me to do. When we got in the room, they evened the bed with my gurney, so it was level flat, and they had me transfer myself over to the operating table. And these operating tables are tiny. They're just wide enough to hold your body, and they have arm things that'll hold your arms out to the side. And they said, oh, well, we'll just wait till you're asleep to tie your arms down. Well, I'm like, what? Why do you tell me that? Anyway, so then the anesthesiologist comes in, and she's like, would you prefer some anxiety medicine? I said, yes, please. So she put that in, and things were good for about 10 seconds. And then she said, okay, I'm going to put you to sleep now. And I was out. And previous surgeries, and I don't know about y'all if y'all have had any prior surgeries, but previous surgeries, they'll say, the anesthesiologist usually says, okay, count down from backwards from 10 for me. So, you'll start at 10, 9, 8, and then usually you're out by 7. So, this one, it was just okay, I'm gonna put you to sleep. I remember looking over at her, and before I could even process any thoughts, I was out. So now here's the scary part about my surgery. So in the past, I've had activity-induced asthma. That means if I'm running or doing something to really lose my breath and get out of breath, I tend to have an asthma attack and not be able to catch my breath and just coughing, and it's not good. So anyway, that's usually the only time I have it. So when the anesthesiologist came in when I was in the pre-op room, just to go over my history and stuff, she asked, have you had any problem with anesthesia in the past? And I said, no, of course I hadn't. Excuse me. I hadn't had problems with anesthesia, and, she said, oh, you have activity-induced asthma. I said, yeah. And she's like, when's the last time you used your inhaler? And I was like, well, probably maybe June or May or something like that. Because I don't use it very often. I don't have to. Usually it only gives me problems if I have to do something that's really heavy activity and stuff like that. Or if I have a cold or something, usually the asthma will come out a little bit more. But other than that, I don't really have to use constant medication to control my asthma. So they put me out. And apparently, after they put me out, I started having an asthma attack. They had trouble intubating me, and they had a scare. So they had to immediately wake me up again. I don't know how they did that, but I remember waking up and they had a mask over my mouth. And they were telling me to breathe. And it was like, breathe, Stephanie, breathe. And I was trying to, and it was so hard. And finally, I was able to breathe. And it felt like the mask they had on me was like keeping me from breathing. I don't know. But it was really scary. Apparently, they had given me some Ventolin through an inhaler, maybe through the mask somehow. Because after I woke up, they handed me this inhaler. They're like, we can't use this again. You can have it. And I was like, okay, cool. I could use it, whatever. And let's see. So, yeah, I woke up with that mask on. I remember catching my breath, and then they put me back out. And then I woke up in the recovery room. So when I woke up in the recovery room, I felt a little pain, not too much. That's my dog. He's actually deaf. He never barks. I'm wondering why he's barking now. And I can't yell at him. He won't hear me. He's 15. Sorry. Oh gosh. So my sister's dog that you saw in the other video, he's actually with my parents right now because he's a little brat and he pulls on the leash, and I can't, with the surgery, it's better for me not to have to pull a 20-pound dog around. So, but Shadow's cool. He's old. He's slower than I am. So we're good with that. Anyway, back to the surgery. So I wake up in the recovery room. I'm not really feeling a lot of pain. I can feel maybe a little pain. So I was like, I'm just going to ask for some pain meds because I don't want to start feeling pain and then have to go get the pain meds, clear it with the doctor, whatever they have to do, and then give them to me. And then I have to wait for them to kick in. So they gave me a dose of fentanyl. And that made me pretty groggy. I remember when I woke up, the guy was really nice. I think his name was Lewis in the recovery room, his recovery room nurse. He was really awesome. Started giving me ice chips and stuff like that. And, he told me the goal was to, get to where my oxygen levels were good. And then I could leave the recovery room. So there was this alarm that would go off every time my oxygen got below a certain level. And I don't know those levels. But he said, every time you hear that sound, start breathing deeply because that means you're not giving enough oxygen. So I tried to do that. Of course, I kept dozing off because of the medicine. And of course, when you're asleep, you can't really control your breathing. But after a while, I think I stayed in the recovery room. I don't know how long it was. But when I woke up, it was about 3 o'clock. So from the time I went to surgery, I think they took me back about 11:30, and then I woke up in recovery about 3. So my surgery did take a little longer than normal, and I think it was just due to the asthma attack, because they said my surgery went fine. Actually, one of the nurses, Merritt, came in and talked to me in the recovery room, and she told me how my surgery went, and she told me about the asthma attack, because I didn't know at this point that I had an asthma attack. That whole mask thing, I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't even process at the moment that I had gone to sleep and woken up again for the mask. I didn't know where that mask memory came from, but I had it. Like the breathing mask, it's a thing that I think y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so she said that, I had the asthma attack, and she said trouble intubation, and then she said they had to, finally to intubate me, they had to go in with a scope to intubate me. And usually they don't use that. Usually it's some pretty smooth process. But because I had that asthma attack, that's why they had to use the scope. She said otherwise I did really good on my pre-op diet. My liver looked really good. The surgery went swimmingly well. No complications or anything. I did not wake up with any gas pains. My abdomen was sore, of course, understandably. They had an ice pack on me when I woke up, so I asked for that fentanyl. Everything was good. They gave me a second dose of fentanyl because I started feeling pain again. And then I started feeling pain again. They're like, well, the fentanyl's making you sleepy, so we're going to give you Toradol, which is basically, it's an NSAID. So it works like ibuprofen or naproxen sodium, that type of thing. Um, yeah. So then they sent me back to the recovery room, and immediately I could walk. There was a really nice nurse that came in. I think her name was Lisa. And she was awesome too. So she came in and she said, well, if you feel like, don't hurry, but if you feel like getting up or if you need to go to the bathroom or anything. Oh, and they didn't, catheter, I didn't have to have a catheter, which was awesome. They're just messy and nasty, but, I'm glad I didn't have to have a catheter. Sometimes they give me bladder infections. Last time I had a catheter. So I didn't have to have that. So that was good. And then, so I said, oh, great, I feel good. I can just get up and walk. That was fine. I went to sit up and my incisions started bleeding. And apparently it was normal. My dad saw it first. He's like, my mom ran out in the hall and got Lisa, and she ran and got some gauze and just taped the gauze over it. And she said, this is normal. How they did my incisions, because every doctor is different. I really like the way they did this. What he did is he put dissolvable sutures on the inside layer of my skin, so you can't even see them from the top. I would show you, but I'm not wearing a bra right now because where one of the incisions is, it's right along the line where my bra hits on the bottom of my bra. Girls, you could probably understand that. So that was the only thing that was weird about the incisions. Everything else is good. I'm 9 days post-op now, and my steri strips have fallen off on 3 of my incisions. There's 5 total. There's 2 bigger ones in the middle, 2 little ones on the side, and there's one up here right like underneath my sternum, or your chest bone, or breastbone. Some people call it, technical name sternum. Anyway, let's see. So the incisions healed really well. Where the steri strips have fallen off, you can hardly even tell that I had an incision there. They look like maybe a little scratch right now. And eventually I think they will completely go away. Awesome. Because who wants a scar? I don't know. I mean, I expected to have a scar, but I am good with not having scars. That's awesome. So I'm really happy with the way the surgery went. The asthma thing, I think the anesthesiologist team could have taken a little more precaution. They told me to bring my inhaler with me. I did. They'd never asked for it. So that's bad on their part for that whole asthma attack thing, because I told them that I had an activity-induced asthma. I brought my inhaler like they told me to, but they never asked for it. So that's sad. And they had to give me an inhaler because they didn't ask for mine. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, no gas pains. I was released from the hospital about 5:30. They gave me a dose of, I think it was hydrocodone before I went home, just to get me home, because, I was actually staying with my parents out in Dripping Springs, which is, about an hour from Austin. But if you've ever been in Austin, you know that the traffic here is like LA, basically. It's horrible. And they're doing a lot of construction and stuff, trying to expand freeways and stuff. I'm in GIS, and I know that they're doing this all wrong. And that's just my opinion on it. But anyway, so it took us about an hour and a half to get home. We did have to stop at CVS to pick up my pain meds. They gave me Hyset, which is hydrocodone, and acetaminophen in a liquid form. They gave me plenty. I used it for the first 3 days post-op. The first 2, the day of surgery and the day after surgery, I pretty much took it every 4 hours. The 3rd day, I was taking about every 6 hours. By the 4th day, maybe twice a day, maybe every 12 hours. By the 5th day, I just took 1 dose at night to kind of help me get to sleep. And that was the end of the pain meds. I still have like half of what they gave me left. So that was really good. They also gave me the generic version of Zofran. It's an anti-nausea medicine. I did take it a couple times. I don't know that I really needed it. I just took it as a precautionary thing. I think I only took 4 or 5 doses, but I don't think I really needed it. I could have done without it because I did not have nausea like other people have reported. I didn't really have a problem with the liquids. That first day you're so sleepy and tired that it's hard to wake up every so often and remember to drink a little bit and stuff like that. I didn't really have a problem because before I had the surgery, I know I would gulp water just like it was nothing. But I think my brain automatically knew like, your stomach's small now, like you need to take sips. So I was pretty good with just taking the small sips of water. I didn't really have any incidents where I drank too much or anything like that. I noticed that I could tolerate cold things more than warm things. Some people are opposite. This experience, it's so crazy because everybody's experience is so different from one person to the next. And predicting that is not something anybody's going to do. I'll tell you that right now. You cannot predict how the surgery is going to go. You can't predict how your body's going to react to it. You can go and watch videos on who other people have had the surgery and stuff like that, and see what they say. But from my own experience and just talking with the people on my Facebook support group, which that's a really good place to go, and I'd recommend anybody to do that, is to join the support groups. There's Bariatric Pal, that's really a forum, and then there's Facebook like groups that you can join. So I'm a member of those. I really like the smaller groups. Like one is for people who had the sleeve done in September. I'm in 2 of those groups, and they're smaller groups. I think one has like 100 people and the other has like maybe 70 people in it. And they're from all over the world, really. And I really enjoyed those. Those people are really at the same point that you're at, and you can talk back and forth, like, what your pre-op diets are like, what your surgery experience was like, what your post-op diets are like, and what your doctor recommends compared to your, someone else's doctor. And some seem really awful crazy. Like some people have to be on like clear liquids for 2 weeks, and then they have to be on full liquids for 2 weeks, and then pureed for 2 weeks, and then start introducing other things. I'm like, that's like a 6-week process right there. That's not something I wanted, I would like to do. I'd do it, but I really like my program through Southwest Bariatrics. They're having me do the first 3 days after surgery were clear liquids only, and then I moved to full liquids, which just, you can really have anything that's pourable and smooth. If you want to eat soups with veggies and stuff in it, or they even said that you could have chicken soups and stuff as long as you blend it and it's smooth and pourable. And that's the main word here, pourable. And I'm not talking like chunky pour. I'm talking about like a smooth pour. So you may have to add like things you can add to it to thin it out, or like for cream-based soups, you can add some milk. I really like the Fairlife milk. It's lactose free. It has reduced sugars and increased protein. And protein is going to be a word that you hear all the time. And you want to really focus on getting protein because your body uses that protein not only to heal itself, but to provide energy for your body. I'm sure you guys already know this, but I just want to emphasize that because I'm feeling great, and I've followed the program, and I've been conscious to get enough protein in. So let's see what else. So post-op diet tips. I bought a book. I might have to put in the description what that book is, because I don't have it here on my table. So I think it's in the kitchen. I've been using it. It gives a really good ideas, like for the full liquids. Like it gave a recipe for this vanilla custard, which is really good. It's like a thinner custard, but it really helps when you're, kind of getting sick of the protein shakes. Like I do Premier protein shakes. I've gotten to where I can get 2 in a day, which is really good. Sometimes I'll just do 1. And I've started making egg drop soup, which is actually one of my biggest lifesavers because I love egg drop soup in the first place. It's my favorite. Excuse me. Told you you'd burp a lot. And it's really easy. You just boil some chicken broth, drop in an egg, stir it, add in like just a tiny dab of sesame oil, and maybe some pepper if you want some pepper, maybe some salt if your broth's not already, too salty. And there you have it. So, it's the best. So, that's what I've been kind of doing the last few days. And then you get your protein in with your egg and stuff, and the broth will have some protein in it too. The Fairlife milk has 13 grams of protein per 8 ounces. Usually I only drink about 4 ounces because that's really all that I can tolerate at one time, and especially of milk and stuff like that. Water, I'm getting to where I can drink a good 8 ounces, at a time. Of course, you don't want to gulp, just sips. And when I say sips, just regular drinks. No gunks, you know what I mean. So, that's basically where we're at this point. I don't think I missed anything. I've had a really good experience. I do recommend this to anyone that is thinking about it, especially if you're having like health problems due to your weight, or if you've tried other ways to lose weight and you've gained it again and gained more weight than you than you started with. So it's a super great thing. I have PCOS. I had high blood pressure and I was pre-diabetic. So my blood pressure has been perfect. Even 9 days out, it's amazing. I actually checked mine about midnight last night and it was 120/75. And that was over 12 hours after I'd taken my blood pressure medicine. So usually they start kind of wearing off at the end of the day. So I wanted to see what my blood pressure would be like, as far away as I could to when I took my next dose. So anyway, hopefully I have an appointment with my primary physician on October 5th. So here in a couple weeks, and hopefully they will take me off that blood pressure medicine. That will be amazing. I think that's all I have to report. As far as vitamins, they just have me on the B12 right now. I think on September 28th, here in a few days, I'll need to start my vitamins and calcium, I believe. And then I think a week after that, I will start the omega-3s added to that. So I'll be taking a multivitamin, B12 supplement, calcium, and omega-3s. I think that's it. I don't think I'm missing anything, but that's what my program has us do. And then, of course, when I start eating the real foods, normal foods again, not pureed or liquid and stuff, I think I'm going to stick with maybe doing a protein shake in the morning. And then I'm going to try to stick with the low carb diet. I need to see the nutritionist again. They haven't set that up for me. I think that you just kind of have to do that yourself. But I think I do want to see him again just to kind of iron out a plan for me going forward to maximize my weight loss goals. So anyway, if you have any questions, I'd love to ask them or answer them. So feel free to ask me. You can always comment or I'll try to get back as soon as I can. Alright, y'all, I hope I didn't miss anything. And I'm going to try to do videos every couple of weeks. I'm not going to be one of those vloggers that does a video every other day or anything like that, because that's too much for me. Sorry. And I have other things going on in my life. My best friend just had a baby, and I'm looking for work, and just stuff like that. So, but never hesitate to ask me a question. Always take the time out to answer the questions you guys ask. So, thanks for watching my video. I hope that you guys keep up. It's an exciting journey, and I hope that you guys have a good experience with yours as well. So thanks for watching again. Have a great day.